Welcome back to 556 Media and the Western Maryland Mountains. And this video is unique. I asked a long time ago if anybody wanted it to be made, and we did it. So this is an interview with a real life Billie kid. And yes, that's her real name, Billie Kid. And she is very cool, very intelligent, very life experienced, and this will come out in the interview. Also, I call her Wood Sprite, so anyone wants to leave that comment and call her Wood Sprite, go for it, but that's what I call her. So, introducing Billie Kid, let's get into it.
Howdy.
Hello. Here with a special guest on 556 Media, and let her introduce herself, and we'll go into a little interview. So, what's your name, honey? Any idea?
Alright, Vinny. Calm down with Vinny already. Alright, my name's Billie. Billie the Kid, as everybody knows. I am real, I promise. No, my parents did not have a sense of humor when I was born. I was named after my grandparents, I promise you. And that is my legal name, as everybody likes to ask. It's not short for anything. It's Billie.
It's true. Billie Kid. I've seen her ID. All right. Where were you born and raised?
Born in Maryland, raised in Maryland, although I have moved to Florida before. I've lived in West Virginia before. I've lived a little bit everywhere, even in Pennsylvania for a hot minute.
Which was your favorite state?
Florida was when I was little, but I miss it oh so dearly. I want to go back so bad. Originally, I had planned when I graduated to take a vacation down there, but I also graduated a year early, so I wasn't of age to get a hotel by myself yet. So.
Yeah, we'll get into your education next, and you're a pure genius. This is a very intelligent woman. So, your education, you said you graduated early, so
yep.
Give us a brief overview of your education. And
so, like I said, I graduated a year early. I took an astronomical amount of classes. I took probably like 8 classes during my freshman year before they switched the schedule up. 6 my sophomore year, and then just the regular set of classes in my 11th grade year. But I took 5 AP classes throughout 3 years. Graduated with above a 4.0, top 15% of that class.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I bet there was a lot of people pissed off there that I knocked them down, but sorry, not sorry.
Hey, got you off to college.
Yeah, I went to college for a little while. That's when the pandemic started, unfortunately, and I switched colleges because I was at originally I was at a place where they were meant for like sit-in learning.
Mm-hmm.
So when they had to switch to online, it was horrible.
Did you get a scholarship for
no
scholarship for college?
No.
I can't remember.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, technically yes, just because of my high grades and everything. Right. But that was done after the first year.
Right.
Then I switched to an online college, and they just were digging me around for money, like intro to how to take an online class, intro to not regarding the major you want to be in, and right. It's like, I'm not paying $600 a month for this shit.
So it's your first college. How long was your one-way commute?
One-way commute was about an hour. But I will say that college was really good, and I kind of do miss it every now and then. Mm-hmm. My favorite class there was my art class. Mm-hmm. I know you saw before you got rid of your Facebook and everything, my art mm-hmm. on there, the drawings I made, the squid in the cup, my favorite mm-hmm. personally, yeah. Because it's my best. Yeah. But
yeah, I've seen some in person, I've seen some online. You also like to write.
Yes, I write. My most common piece that I've written is a short story I've written called A Beautiful Lie. It is about 5 teenage boys that go out camping during spring break. and one of their old friends ended up being a murderer, and
Oh.
yeah.
Well, now we know what goes on in her head. Okay, so.
I watch too much horror, okay?
All right, so there's your education. How about employment?
Employment. So originally I started off at a local gas station,
Mhm.
worked there for almost 3 years. Well, 3 years or a little over, something like that. But I left there because I wasn't making the money I needed to, especially with the hours I was working.
Talking about the one up in the mountains here?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I switched to a place in, um, like about 30, 45 minutes away from here, and basically warehouse type deal.
Mhm.
I was a machine operator there.
Mhm.
I got injured there, and I basically took a leave of not leave of absence. I left. I quit.
Right.
Because of the injury, because they were not willing to be lenient about it.
Mhm.
Because I cannot perform my job. Well, you're not allowing me to heal.
Right.
So I can perform my job.
I remember prior to that job, when you left uh, the mountain job, you also worked a second job.
At that point,
They were part time.
So originally I worked at the gas station up here in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I got a part-time job at the the local Hot Topic,
Mm-hmm.
being that that's a well-known company.
Right.
I used to work there. Um, Quit there. Was just working at the gas station. Was working with my mom on top of that with her company. And then when I graduated, I was working just the gas station again. And then I moved to the gas station and the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then the gas station, the warehouse, and cleaning on my own.
Mm-hmm.
While I was taking college.
A little bit busy.
Yeah.
A little bit hectic.
Minding you, the warehouse job was a 5P to 5A. Holy crap. I didn't know what sleep was.
So, as you all can tell, Billie's been not only doing very well in school, but also a hard worker. A lot of positive personal accountability and responsibility. So, and that's what I know of her, and that's one of the reasons why we're having to sit down and do the interview. Right now, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about your businesses that you started.
Yes.
All right? We'll be right back. All right, we're back from break. So we talked about your employment history, and I understand you have a couple new business ventures going on right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so unfortunately I got let go from my last job working as a car salesman because I wasn't doing it well enough. I was there for 2 months and I wasn't doing it well enough. Well, you didn't give me the chance to do it well enough.
Was that a commission based? Like you got paid, but you got commission, or was it
Yep.
all commission?
It was all commission, so it was a draw out. We would get paid every other week, $1,100 after taxes, and then basically you'd have to work to that mark, whatever you got in draw out.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to make in commission to break even.
Okay.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
I sold one car.
So it sounds like it really wasn't worth the time and trouble anyway.
No, not for the people I was working with, at least. A lot of them were grumpy.
No offense to anyone that sells vehicles.
It was more so the managers, not the salespeople.
Oh.
Managers.
But then they start out doing that?
They started off a little on the grumpy side, but the more and more you messed up, or you weren't getting cars in, you weren't getting people in when you're clearly trying, just the worse it got. And it's like, you know what?
No, I mean, didn't they start out being like working the floor or the lot, like trying to sell cars at some point?
I think so, but I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
I know the one guy did, main manager. I'm not sure about the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard he got fired from a lot of places because of a lot of issues, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least that place isn't your problem anymore.
Right.
So that's good.
But I opened my own business. It is called Dark Shadows Boutique. I sell women's clothing primarily. I'm hoping to expand to men's clothing here before too long, but it's just something I opened up. It's drop shipping. Please come and order something.
I'll drop the link to um, that website, um, probably at the end of the video and in the video description. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool. And as Billie said, she does have experience in like retail clothing uh, business, so um, she understands that process for sure. And you have another one.
Yes, so this started as kind of a joke for my fiance and his job. I started sending cupcakes to work with him,
Mhm.
and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they're so good, so good!" And one of his coworkers, his son is famous,
Mhm.
so he's like, "Oh, we're having a big bash for summer at some point. Would you like to do the cupcakes? And I'll pay you." I'm like, "Sure." Like,
Mhm.
who wouldn't?
Right.
It's gonna be 25 dozen cupcakes, 300 cupcakes.
Good God.
Yeah, but that's for $1,000.
That's not bad.
So I took my Dark Shadows from Dark Shadows Boutique and made Dark Shadows cupcakes.
That's actually pretty smart. That's a good idea.
Branding.
Right, branding.
So,
yeah.
If you notice on my Dark Shadows Boutique logo, the little moth, I basically took that and put it on the doily of a cupcake.
Yeah.
But I do that for local. Basically, if I have to drive further than an hour, you are SOL because I ain't doing that. Sorry, but I hate driving that far anymore. I used to drive an hour one way to work and an hour plus back. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
But
I can relate. I can relate to that.
but we got plenty of flavors. We got specialties. I got the pricing set up. I got email, phone number, everything set up. So
Cool. Well, we'll get that information out there as well in this video.
preferably just the email.
And and one thing I have to bring up, you mentioned your fiance, or as I call them, the finance. So tell me about your all's farm that you've got going on.
So our lovely, lovely farm, we have 4 dogs. We have a German Shepherd, we have a Doberman, a Aussie Healer, and we just got a Labrador Retriever a couple days ago to not replace our other dog, but in memory of, because one of our dogs had just passed, having health complications and everything. Um, and my dream dog growing up was a Labrador Retriever because that was our family dog when I was little. So my fiance got me a yellow Labrador Retriever. His name is Jake Jr., and he is so freaking adorable. We also have 3 cats, Tigger, Midnight, and Micah. We have a bearded dragon, Hero. We have 2 chickens, Princess and Red. We have what else do we have? What else do we have? We have a goat. Her name is Cupcake. Ironic, I know. The goat came first, I promise. What else? We also have a fish. And then my soon-to-be adopted daughter is looking to get peacocks.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, that's your farm starter kit. Right there.
It's a lot of money, I promise.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back, and we've been invaded by pugs. So if you hear or see anything weird, it's not just us. There's 2 pugs in here right now, so we have that. You are a little strange, but
It makes you laugh, so you can't complain.
it does. Okay, so getting back to the interview, what do you find most interesting in life?
Honestly, I don't find a whole lot interesting. I just kind of do my own thing, find my own things. So the downfall is I have ADHD.
Mhm.
I basically fixate on something and then lose interest, fixate on something else, lose interest. Do you know how many started and unfinished projects I have? Too many.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to start my own paint business. Got sidetracked because I ended up moving. Started this, sidetracked. Started that, sidetracked. So I just kind of do my own thing. There's nothing that's like popping, interesting. It's just what I find interesting at the moment. And right now, that's baking.
Okay, well, I mean that makes sense. So you're not you don't focus on one sole idea or anything like that in life. You're just like think it's it's a good way to put it. All right, on the opposite spectrum, uh, what do you find the least interesting in life?
Find least interesting. I don't like sitting around really. Like now that I'm stay at home and everything, working from home, it's very annoying
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the time I'm just sitting there with nothing to do except watch TV, and that's not me. I like getting up, I like moving, I like doing things,
Mm-hmm.
and I like feeling productive, but there's nothing to do in that manner to feel productive with either of my businesses
Mm-hmm.
or anything I do really.
Plus, where we live, it's a really rural area. It's in the mountains, so I mean, unless you just want to
Go rock climbing.
go rock climbing, hiking, things like that,
Spend some money.
fishing, or travel somewhere like not close to do some shopping, then you can do that. Um,
Can't afford to spend monies right now. It's fine.
yeah,
We already
yeah.
went on that binge.
So basically, least interesting thing in life is just like sometimes you get bored. You want to be doing something. Okay,
ADHD at its finest.
I can dig that. So what makes you happy?
Just being active, being moving. I love my fiance. I love him to death. As annoying as he is and tries to be to make me smile, I love that he supports me. I love that I get to do my own thing without being judged. I love that I have friends like you
Mm-hmm.
that are just like, oh shit, you're doing something new. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go, buddy.
Or you're living where now?
You're doing what?
Yeah. So kind of along lines, what pisses you off? What makes you mad?
Just people that are very unsupportive. I kind of grew up with a parent that didn't listen all the time and a parent that wasn't there all the time.
Hmm.
So it made it kind of hard for me growing up because now I have daddy issues.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, at least I admit it.
Oh, boy.
But I'm going to therapy for it, so we're good there. We're good. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're good.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, we were actually talking about therapy before we went on here, because as I said, we both gone through therapy. I went through psychotherapy for PTSD for some time, and it helped me. So that was pretty cool. I don't have nightmares
yeah.
anymore about it, and I don't have what we call it daymares. So you're like we could be sitting here right now, or I could be
Yeah.
in my shop or something like that, and all of a sudden, bam, I get a
So I suffer from PTSD as well because I've been in highly abusive relationships, mentally, verbally, and physically.
mm-hmm.
So I understand that highly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and that was something my therapist had to work with me with. It still kind of sucks because I have one of those memories that doesn't forget things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could still, if you were to ask me certain things, I could tell you every detail of that story that I know,
Right.
heart to heart, and it's terrifying because you would think you're there.
Oh, I can dig it because when I went through mine, I had to relive different events. Like
Didn't make it that far in therapy yet because
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
they made me, they used on me. It was called the EMDR, which is basically the rapid eye movement, and you have to. It's kind of hard to describe, but you have to recall as much detail as you can some of the things that that go through your head that bother you, and usually it's like a work or life experience, that type of thing. And um, mine were predominantly like
Work.
99% work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a lighter side, what's your favorite type of music, bands, things like that?
I listen to a little bit of everything. Like on the way here, I was listening to Low Spirit. He's somebody I found on Facebook, just like Citizen Soldier. They're more like hardcore rock, the alternative type like that. But I also listen to country. I also listen to indie. I listen to old rock, classic rock, stuff like that. So lead
Pretty
me to everything.
pretty musically diverse.
Yeah.
And have you ever played a musical instrument?
So I don't play a musical instrument. Technically, I've tried to teach myself how to play guitar.
Mhm.
Again, ADHD at its finest.
Oh.
Interest and whee.
Oh.
There's a lot of whee in this brain.
You never know. You might pick it up and be really good at it, and then.
Well, the little bit I actually did, everyone's like, "Holy crap! You just picked that up." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did.
So you're playing by ear and.
Yeah.
Self-taught.
But I primarily sing, actually. I do have a few videos on my own page of me singing. I've been wanting to do duets with videos I found on Facebook, but they don't have that option on there, so they make it difficult.
My only social media is YouTube, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
So basically, if you know like TikTok, how you can duet videos, basically Facebook has the same concept, I think, and it's, I believe, a setting the creator has to make, but I could be wrong, so do not quote me. Please and thank you. Do not quote me. But I wanted to duet some of the songs with Low Spirit just because he was doing songs that I know, I love, and I feel that I have a good voice for.
Okay.
As I get all delicate when I say that.
Well, it's always, whether you're self-taught or you have a professional, teacher, help you develop your skills. Whatever makes you happy is bottom line, I guess.
Well, I was actually in chorus in 8th grade, so I learned a little bit there. But I had to give it up for my academic programs in high school, unfortunately. But singing's just always been a thing for me. Unfortunately, though, when I got extremely sick in 2016, I believe it was, I ended up losing my voice for a little bit. I basically had a sinus infection that was turning into bronchitis, and the amount between how much I was getting sick and then coughing and everything else, trying to get everything up, my voice got damaged. So now it doesn't sound the same as it did, and it'll.
Okay. Well, I mean, usually vocal cords, things like that, will heal over time, or with like, basically you retrain them, things like that. So you could do that. Just, unless that ADHD kicks in. Yeah. So we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with Billy the Kid. All right, we're back. This is the third and final segment of the interview with Billy Kid. And I picked out these questions for her. Some she likes, some she doesn't. So, your favorite movie?
Favorite movie would be Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I know you hear enough from your wife.
Yes. I have probably at least heard different Harry Potter movies. Oh shit, hundreds of times. And I'm usually in my office, and I'm somewhere far away from the screen. Yeah.
Hey, in my family, we can be on the phone with each other and listen to the intro and guess which one we're watching.
Oh, I have no doubt.
That is what our family does for fun.
I have no doubt. The only thing I have in common with Harry Potter is his birthday.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the glasses too.
I didn't even think about that. See, I probably need regular glasses or prescription glasses. All I wear are reading glasses. I've been doing that for, years now.
So you're telling me you're blind?
No. At one point, at my old property, my bigger property up here in the hills, I was spraying for the stink bugs that they're all over
Mhm.
this place here. So I was spraying. I was wearing safety goggles and everything, and I was spraying on the side of the house because they were like covering
Oof.
the house, and the chemicals got
How?
behind my goggles directly into my eye, and over the next couple of years, my vision started to deteriorate.
Lovely.
Like reading books and things. I could read license plates and street signs and stuff like that, but small print.
Oh yeah, no, you're lucky if I can do that. Like you're a
Yeah.
big fuzzball right now.
Yes.
But speaking of deteriorating, I actually have an issue myself.
Mhm.
My bottom jaw right here, the bone's deteriorating.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm only
Yeah.
in my 20s, and that's an issue.
That
Like
should be with the medical technology that changes. That'll be pretty.
they say a skin graft, but nothing's gonna actually stop it. So,
Hmm.
it, basically, what the doctor had told my mom is just basically you gotta let it happen and just get a partial implant.
Right. Right. That's what I mean. Like
So,
there's plenty of things they can, especially the way that
but it
technology
sucks
is
being my
advancing.
age and already having your gum peeling basically from your teeth.
Oh.
Eating bread sucks.
Well, moving on from that.
I know. Interesting, weird facts about me. It's great.
Yes. Um, so I'll kind of go in a little bit reverse order here. What kind of driver
Oh, Jesus Christ.
would you
All
describe
right, you
yourself
douche
as
canoe.
being?
Alright, you douche canoe. When I had my stick, I was an asshole driver. I will admit that.
Mhm.
But now that I don't have my stick, my little zoom zoom is what I called it. Actually, not that bad.
So you've improved.
Yes, I've improved. Because I don't
Okay.
have my little zoom zoom.
I used
I
to
love
watch
my
her.
zoom zoom.
I used to watch her leaving work and heading home, and she'd take a corner. This is at a stop sign with a flashing red light. There was no stopping, and she took the turn literally at like whatever the regular speed limit was. There was no slowing down, and she just keep going. So that's why I asked that question, and I'm glad to hear that you've done some driver improvement.
But I can drive a stick, so.
And I can't. I can drive a motorcycle, but I can't drive a stick shift because I don't like stick shifts and they don't like me.
You don't have the hand-eye coordination, man.
Yes, that's right. Oh boy, oh boy. How would you describe your sense of fashion, your fashion sense? Like,
So, growing up, I more so middle school growing up, it was a little darker. I always did the band t shirts or the gothic emo, whatever you want to call it, the dark eye makeup, stuff like that, like I have now. Um, I even now still kind of dress like that because it's a preference. I love dark colors basically. Like, black looks really good on me because I'm pale as crap.
yeah, I remember when you worked at Hot Topic. Like, you would take like 3 hours for you to get ready for work.
Not 3 hours. I'm not that horrible. But I'd have my makeup all done. I'd be wearing a black and red plaid dress or a skirt and a button up, something like that, with my heels on. Like, I'd be decked out. Kind of miss it to some extent just because it gave me a reason to do it.
Mhm.
Now it's always like, why are you getting so dressed up? Because I can. But
Okay.
I can dress up kind of girly. Like I did a photo shoot recently with one of my buddies, and it's called First Skin. He does awesome work. He had me do one of my pretty red dresses,
Mhm.
like cocktail dress at that.
Mhm.
He adored it,
Mhm.
and I'm just sitting there like, this is not normal.
I'll throw in some real quick. I'll throw in some photos of how Billie. Um, I've seen her dressed up. I'll throw that in right now before we end this. All right. So the last question that I have on the plate, and you can follow up with anything that you want to talk about after this final question that I have. How many tattoos do you have?
I have 12 tattoos. I have one on my foot. I have two on my right ankle, one on each side. One's matching with my mom. I have one on my right thigh. I have one on my left ankle on the outside. I have one on my hip. Well, it's supposed to be hip, but it's more towards the buttocks. But
The buttocks.
the buttocks.
I shouldn't have asked this question.
Payback's a bitch. And then I got the three that are right here. That's a very crappy way to show it. Can I?
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly. No, because I can't twist my arm that way.
Yeah.
Whee! There we go.
And as you explained to me, those are 3 separate tattoos,
Yeah.
not one.
So the one at the top is actually what my dad used to tell me when I was depressed. The middle one I actually did myself because I was ADHD at its finest, trying to learn how to do tattoos. That is She Is Queen, is the Queen of Hearts, and then a heartbeat with a music heart in it because music literally saved my life. I was very suicidal growing up, and I basically mostly grown out of it. Some days are still very hard, but we are fully medicated. It's great. But yeah, we got one on my back. My entire back is covered. I have angel wings with a bleeding crown, or a halo, I should say. And then I have one on my inner calf on my left leg that I did myself. That is the chemical symbol of caffeine.
I've seen her drink a lot of caffeine over the years, like the energy drinks, especially, and the sodas and the.
So in high school, I used to live off of caffeine. I'd have probably 2 cups of coffee in the morning before I left school, went to school. I'd have one of the liter to 2 liter Mountain Dews with me, and then I'd have 1 or 2 Monsters with me by the end of the day.
The Monsters, that's the ones I remember.
Or Rock Stars. Rock Stars are pretty good too. They're just very sugary.
What's the one? Red Bull. Those
Yeah.
are the only ones I
Red
ever
Bull
drank.
gives you wings.
Ever, but that's when I was working midnights.
I hate Red Bull with a passion.
I haven't had one since.
The only thing I really drink that with is alcohol.
Oh.
And that's very rarely.
I've heard people do that. Yeah.
The biggest thing I like is coconut rum. Coconut rum is amazing.
Okay.
Malibu is my best friend.
I like pina coladas. Other than that, I hate coconut.
Ooh, I actually have some drinks you might like then at the house.
So like anytime I've gone on vacation, like or whatever, that would be my thing to drink during the day. Pina coladas, pina coladas, pina coladas.
So Malibu actually made a pina colada can. It's not a seltzer. It's just like the can.
Yeah.
We got 3 of those. I tried them. I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
We might have 1 or so left at the house because I don't know if one was leaking or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I can bring them over for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try it. I mean, I'll ground up some ice and throw it over the ice. See how that. Yeah.
Hey, Texas Roadhouse has the amazing Kenny cooler. I can suck those things out. Suck those things down like they're nothing.
Ooh.
It's just great when my fiance is like, here's my kicker, which is another shot of rum. And then he's like, oh, do you feel okay? No. Why would you think that? When I've had 2 shots of rum plus my drink. You know.
So that, aside from the tats, I just thought about this. How many piercings do you have now, and how many did you have? What was the most you've ever had at one time?
So unfortunately, 2 of my piercings have closed up since my last job. I'm looking to maybe get them reopened, but my ears are stretched. I had 2 other piercings in both my ears. Oh, 1 other in each. I have my second holes done. I currently have 1, but I had a second hole in my nose and then 2 in my lip, but currently have 1.
Okay.
I miss it so bad because I love wearing the rings and everything else. So that's a perk about working for myself is I don't have to worry about that. Because another thing I love doing is dyeing my hair.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember how often I did that.
Mm-hmm. I've seen her. You name the color. I've seen her hair that color.
Except pink. We have not done pink.
Well, not pink. Also, I've seen her with all the piercings, and she would never be able to walk through an airport metal detector without being severely questioned. But yeah.
Like, what you doing,
but
ma'am?
yeah,
Nothing.
They're not mine. I found them.
I actually been thinking about dyeing my hair again since I don't have to do classic jobs, but I'm trying to hold off just in case. But because I might be starting a part-time job soon,
Well.
just to make sure I have income.
Well, do what you got to do. But anyway, well, thanks for visiting and doing the interview for us. Everyone, thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I will put Billie's business info
And my account.
in the and your business info in the description, or I'll throw something up on screen as well.
Feel free to watch my Spanish videos for school. They were in high school, but go for it. They were hilarious. Maybe you'll get a kick out of them. Everyone else did. And check out my other videos, like me singing Wanted by Hunter Hayes, Just the Way You Are, Bruno Mars, One More Light, Linkin Park, stuff like that.
All right. We'll catch you on the next one.